Hello children, welcome back to the digital class. I hope you are all doing well. You might be excited to learn some interesting concepts in our math session today. So let us start our session. Take a look at the vegetable market or a fruit market. Not only that, you might have gone for shopping also to purchase maybe shirts or maybe trousers or etc. Right? While buying these things, we generally do compare whether you are getting for lesser rate or you are getting a good quality one and all these things. So definitely we are going to compare these things. Isn't it children? Yes. Not only that children, even when you see your mom cooking food for you in your home, she will be mixing, say she is preparing say some tea or coffee, she will be mixing say sugar and milk in some ratio, right? Do you know children what a ratio is? Yes. In our today's session, we are going to learn about ratio and proportion. By the end of this session, you will learn ratio, proportion, and also you will learn about unitary method. Let us start our session. So generally, while comparing the quantities, we have two ways. One is the way we compare using subtraction. The other way is we compare using division. So children, we can compare the quantities either by subtraction or by division. Now take a look at an example. See here Ram and also Sita. Ram has some books with him and same time Sita has also some books. Let us consider Ram has 13 books and Sita has only 4 books. Now children, how many books Ram has more than Sita? Yes, we get it by subtracting 4 from 13. So how many more books Ram has children? Yes, I can say Ram has 9 books more than Sita. So this is how we compare using subtraction. Okay children. Now let us see how to compare the quantities using division. Now here is a cycle and a bike. The cost of the cycle is 10,000 rupees, whereas the cost of the bike is 1,50,000 rupees. Now let us divide these two quantities, that is 1,50,000 divided by 10,000. So we get 15 by 1. Now what do you mean by this children? Yes, that means I can say I am comparing two quantities using division. Now this comparing quantities using division is called ratio. Okay children. So when we compare any two quantities using division, we generally call that as ratio. Now let us see what actually a ratio is. Now let us take an example of a cheetah. The speed of cheetah is 120 kilometers per hour, whereas a tortoise, its speed is 360 meters per hour. Now can we compare the quantities here? Yes, but only if they have same units. If you notice here, the speed of cheetah is 120 kilometers per hour, whereas tortoise is 360 meters per hour. So since the units are different, we cannot compare. We can compare only if they have same unit children. So this is a very important thing you need to note down children. We can compare two quantities only when they have same units, otherwise we cannot compare them. Okay children, let us define what a ratio is. If A and B are any two quantities, then the ratio is written as A colon B. And how do you read children? Yes, we are going to read it as A is to B. Now this colon is called the symbol of the ratio. You can see children here, there is a colon, right? This is the symbol of the ratio. Now in this ratio A is to B, here A and B are called the terms of the ratio. So what are A and B, children? They are terms of the ratio. Now the two quantities A and B are called the terms of the ratio. Okay. Now in this ratio A is to B, A is called the first term, or even we can call it as antecedent also, whereas B is called the second term or consequent. So I can say first quantity A is the first term or antecedent, and second quantity B is called second term or consequent. Okay, children. Now the ratio A is to B can also be written as A divided by B. That means if I have some 2:3, I can write it as 2/3. Okay, children. Now let us come back to the problem of speed of cheetah and tortoise, children. So speed of cheetah is 120 kilometers per hour. So I'll convert this into meters per hour. So 1 kilometer is how much, children? 1000 meters. So 120 into 1000. So whereas the speed of tortoise is 360 meters per hour. Now on converting this, how much you get, children? Yes, 1,20,000 meters per hour, and speed of tortoise remains the same. Now let us compare them. That is speed of cheetah divided by speed of tortoise. That is 1,20,000 divided by 360. So the ratio is 1,20,000 is to 360. So this is the ratio of their speeds. So we have compared here because both are having now same units. Here meters per hour, here also meters per hour. Then only we can compare the quantities, otherwise we cannot compare them. Got it, children? Now let us try this, children. The first quantity, you can see there are 5 apples, and in the second quantity you can see there are 4 oranges. Now what is the ratio, children? That's right, it is 5:4. Now let us see the first quantity here. In this case we have some pens and we have some erasers. Now what is the ratio of these two quantities, children? You are right, once again it is 8:9, as there are 8 pens and 9 erasers. Now let us move on to the next one. We have some dice over here and some coins over here as second quantity. Now what is the ratio of these dice and coins? Yes, it is 10:6, because there are 10 dice in the first quantity, whereas 6 coins as the second quantity. Okay, children. Now you understood how to write the ratio of two quantities, children? That's good. Now let us take one example here, children. So Seema has 15 apples and 12 oranges. Now we need to find the ratio of the number of apples to the number of oranges. Let us see. So the number of apples are 15 and number of oranges are 12. So what is the ratio, children? Yes, 15:12. That is ratio of apples to oranges. And I already told you that A is to B can be written as A by B. That means this is written as 15/12. Now is there any common factors in these two numbers, children? Yes. Here this is divisible by 3, and even 15 is also divisible by 3. Now let us divide with 3, children. 3 goes 4 times in 12, whereas in 15 it goes 5 times. What did you get? Yes, 5/4. So the ratio is 5:4. But children, this 5/4 is said to be in the simplest form. Now why do we call it as a simplest form, children? There is no common factor in these two terms. If you notice, 5 and 4. Now in these two there is no common factor. So that's why we call it as a simplest form. So how do we define it, children? A ratio is said to be in simplest form or in the lowest terms when it is written in the terms of whole numbers with no common factors other than 1. Okay, children. So there should not be any common factor except 1. Got it, children? Yes. Now let us take a situation how to find a ratio. Okay. Now let us take a classroom example, children. So there will be girls as well as boys in our class, right? Let us consider the number of girls in the section as 26 and number of boys as 24. Therefore, what is total number of students in the class, children? That's right, 26 plus 24, which is 50. Now let us try to find the ratio of girls and the boys. That is 26:24. Now what is the ratio of the number of girls to the total number of students, children? Yes, girls are 26. So 26 is to total number of students are 50. So 26:50. In the same way, let us find out the ratio of number of boys to the total number of students. So number of boys 24, total is 50. So we get 24:50. Now let us take an example of same ratio in different situations. Let us see. So I have taken a rectangle with length 20 and breadth 15 meters. Now what is the ratio of length is to breadth? Yes, 20:15. I can write it as 20/15, and I'm cancelling with 5. That goes 3 times in 15 and goes 4 times in 20. So we get 4/3. So L is to B is how much, children? 4:3. So the ratio of length of the room to its breadth is 4:3. Now let us take another situation, children. A basket consists of 8 kg of rice and 6 kg of pulses. Now let us find the ratio of the rice to the pulses. That is 8:6. I can write it as 8/6. Now we'll cancel 6 with 2. So it goes 3 times, whereas 2 goes 4 times in 8. We are again left with 4/3. Now it is in simplest form. So what is the ratio, children, now? Yes, rice to that of pulses is 4:3. So here we got again same ratio if you notice. So ratio of length is to breadth is 4:3, and the rice is to pulses is also 4:3 we got. So 20:15 is 4:3, right? I can write like that, and also 8:6 is also 4:3. Now all these ratios are called equivalent ratios because 20:15 is also 4/3 and 8:6 is also 4:3. So I can write 20:15 equal to 8:6 equal to 4:3. We call it as equivalent ratios. I think you understood now what is meant by equivalent ratios, children. Okay. Now let us move on to our next concept. The division of a given quantity in a given ratio. Let us see an example. So 4,500 is distributed among Vijay and Vasisht in the ratio 7:8. Find the share of each one. So children, what is given to us? Yes, share of Vijay and Vasisht is 7:8. Let us find the sum of the terms of the ratio, that is 7 plus 8, which gives 15. The total amount to be distributed is 4,500. That means we have to make this 4,500 as 15 parts because the ratio is 7 plus 8, which is equal to 15. So we have divided this 4,500 into 15 parts. Now what will be one part, children? Yes, one part will be 4,500 divided by 15. Now let us do simplification with 15 table, children. 15 goes in 15 one time, and whereas in 4,500 it goes 300 times. What is left? 300 by 1, which is 300. So one part is 300. Now from this ratio, if you see, Vijay has 7 parts, whereas Vasisht has 8 parts. Now let us find out their share now. So Vijay's share is 7 parts. So one part is 300. So 7 parts will be 7 into 300, which gives us 2,100. Now what about Vasisht, children? Yes, he has 8 parts. That means 8 into one part is 300. So 8 into 300 gives us 2,400. So therefore Vijay's share is 2,100 and Vasisht's share is 2,400. Got it, children? So children, till now we have seen the concept of ratio and various situations how to find the ratio also. Let us move on to our next concept, that is proportion. Let us see. Can you identify the image shown on your screen, children? Yes, it is the beautiful Taj Mahal, which is located in Agra in our country, right? Here you can see some more images of same Taj Mahal but of different sizes, isn't it, children? Now let us see what we are going to do now. Can you find any differences in these figures, children? Yes. Let us see what is the difference. The first figure, this is the original one which we have taken in the first time. The length is 4 and the breadth is 3. So what is the ratio of length and breadth, children, of this original image? 4:3. Let us take the second one. Here the length is 3, whereas the breadth is 4. Now what is the ratio of length and breadth, children, here? Yes, here it is 3:4 because length 3 and breadth 4. So L is to B is 3:4. Let us move on to a third picture, that is 8 and 4 length and breadth. So what is the ratio, children? Yes, 8:4. Let us move on to our final image. Length is 16, breadth is 12. Therefore, the length is 16:12. So let us summarize these things, children. So first one we got L is to B 4:3. Second image is 3:4. Third one 8:4. Now this 8:4 can be written as 8/4, and on simplification you get 2/1. That is nothing but 2:1 ratio. Now let us move on to the final one, children. That is L is to B is 16:12. So this 16:12 can be written as 4:3. How, children? L is to B is L by B is 16/12. So cancelling with 4, we get 4/3. That is nothing but 4:3. So what do you notice from all these things, children? Yes, we see that in the first one, that is the original one, and the last one have the same ratio, that is 4:3 and 4:3. Now such images are said to be in proportion, or we can say picture 1 and picture 4 are proportionate. So what do you mean by that? We say that equality of ratios is called proportion. So that means here 4:3, and here what do we have actually? Yes, 16:12. They are said to be in proportion. Let us see some examples. If two ratios A is to B and C is to D are equal, then we can say that A, B, C and D are in proportion. Okay, children. So it is represented as A is to B, and here you can see there are like two columns, right? We call it as the symbol of proportion. Got it, children? And how do we read it? Yes, A is to B is as C is to D. I repeat once again, A is to B is as C is to D, children. Let us move on to our another concept, that is unitary method. Let us see with an example. Take a look at this shop, children. Shravya has come to purchase some groceries or vegetables, and she found that the cost of 4 kg of onions is 200 rupees. At the same time, his friend, says Suraj, has visited another shop where he found that the cost of 5 kg of onions is 220 rupees. Now, both want to purchase 3 kg of onions. Now, let us help them where to purchase. Before we purchase, we compare wherever we get for less amount and good quality one, there only we purchase. Right? Is that right, children? So we check for quality as well as the rate also. Okay, children. Now let us see where to purchase if both are having the same quality. Okay, children. Now let us take a look at the Shravya's case. Cost of 4 kg of onions is 200 rupees. Then what will be the cost of 1 kg of onion, children? Yes, 200 by 4. On simplification, you get 50 rupees. That means the cost of 1 kg of onions is 50. So cost of 3 kg of onions will be 3 into 50 gives 150 rupees. Okay, children. So this method of simplifying the problem, we call it as unitary method. Now why we call it as unitary method, children? Because in this method, we first find the value of one unit and then find the value of the required number of units. So actually first we calculated value of 1 kg of onion, then what we want? 3 kg of onions. So we calculated amount for 3 kg of onions. So this method of simplifying the problem, we call it as unitary method. So let us consider the case of Suraj now. So given cost of 5 kg of onions is 220 rupees. Yes, 220 rupees divided by 5. On dividing this, we get 44 rupees. Now what is the cost of 3 kg onions, children? 3 into 44, which gives 132 rupees. Therefore, the cost of 3 kg of onions is 132 rupees. Now in which case we have to purchase, children? Here it is 132 rupees, whereas in case of Shravya, it is how much? Yes, it is 150 rupees. So we purchase where actually Suraj has gone for shopping. Okay, children. So children, till now we have seen what is ratio, what is proportion and unitary method. Now we are going to apply these concepts in solving few examples. Let us start with the first example. Find the ratio of the following: 15 grams to 3 kgs, and 4 liters to 250 ml. Let us start with the solution. The first one is 15 grams to 3 kg. So both are in different units. So I'll convert into the same units. So 1 kg is 1000 grams. Therefore, what will be 3 kg, children? 3 into 1000, which is 3000 grams. 50 grams is to 3 kg is equal to 15 is to 3000. Now let us write it in the form of A by B, that is 15 divided by 3000. Now 15 we can cancel with say 5, it goes 3 times, whereas here it goes 600 times. So we got 3 by 600. Is it in simplest form, children? No. Still there is 3 as common factor. Now 3 goes in 3 one time and it goes 200 times in 600. So how much is left, children, now? Yes, 1 by 200. Therefore, the ratio is 1 is to 200. Let us move on to the second bit, that is 4 liters to 250 ml. So we know that 1 liter is 1000 ml. So 4 liters will be 4 into 1000, we get 4000 ml. Now let us find the ratio. 4 liters is to 250 ml, that is 4000 is to 250. Now I'll write this 4000 is to 250 as A by B, that is 4000 divided by 250. Now I'll divide with 10. So 10 goes 400 times here, whereas in this it goes 25 times. So we got 400 by 25. Let us divide with 5. It goes 80 times and here it goes 5 times. Now further 5 goes in 5 one time, and whereas in 80 it goes 16 times. We are left with 16 by 1. So therefore, what we can write, children? The ratio is 16 is to 1. I hope you understood the problem, children. Let us move on to our next problem. A farmer has sheep and cows in the ratio 8 is to 3. How many sheep has the farmer if he has 180 cows? And also find the ratio of the number of sheep to the total number of animals the farmer has. Let us start with the solution. So what is given, children? The ratio of sheep and cows, that is 8 is to 3. Okay, children. So the number of cows with the farmer is 180. Let us assume the number of sheep with farmer is equal to x. I can write sheep is to cows ratio is x is to 180. So therefore, x is to 180 is equal to 8 is to 3. Now let us solve this, children. So x is to 180 can be written as x by 180, that is equal to 8 is to 3 is written as 8 by, yes, 3. Now let us cross multiply them. So on cross multiplication, x is equal to 180 into 8 divided by 3. Now 3 goes in 3 one time, whereas in 180 it goes 60 times. So we are left with 60 into 8, which is 480. So we can say that the number of sheep with farmer is 480. So let us move on to the second bit of the same problem, children. Yes, we are going to find the ratio of number of sheep to the total number of animals the farmer has. So total number of animals with the farmer is 180 plus 480, which is 660. So therefore, what is the ratio of sheep to the number of animals with the farmer, children? 180 is to 660. Now let us write in the form of A by B, that is 180 divided by 660. So on simplifying, what do you get, children? Yes, we got 18 by 66. This can be further divided with 6, so goes 3 times, and in 66 it goes 11 times. We are left with 3 by 11. Therefore, the ratio is 3 is to 11. Let us move on to the next problem, children. The cost of 15 chairs is 3,750. Find the cost of 8 chairs. Let us start with the solution. So cost of 15 chairs, 3,750. Then what is the cost of one chair, children? Yes, 3,750 divided by 15. So 3 goes 5 times in 15, whereas in 3,750 it goes 1,250 times. Now again there is 5 as a common factor. So 5 goes in 5 one time, whereas in 1250 it goes 250 times. So what is left, children? 250. That means cost of one chair is 250. Let us find out the cost of 8 chairs, children. So cost of 8 chairs is number of chairs into cost per chair. So that is 8 into 250. So on multiplying them, you get 2000 rupees. Hence, cost of 8 chairs is 2000 rupees. We have learnt the concept of ratio, proportion and unitary method. and also solve few problems. So before we end our session, let us quickly recap what we have learnt. So a ratio is an ordered comparison of quantities of same units. The ratio of two quantities A and B is written as A is to B, and we read it as A is to B. A and B are called the terms of the ratio A is to B. In the ratio A is to B, first quantity A is called first term or antecedent, and second quantity B is called second term or consequent. A ratio is said to be in the simplest form or in the lowest terms when it is written in terms of whole numbers with no common factor other than 1. Equality of ratios is called proportion. If A is to B is equal to C is to D, then A, B, C and D are said to be in proportion and is represented as shown on your screen. The method in which we first find the value of one unit and then the value of the required number of units is known as unitary method. So children, before we end our session, so I want to give you some problems to solve at your home and show to your class teacher or your subject teacher. Okay children, so solve the following. A person has 20 gram of gold and 5 kg of silver. Find the ratio of gold to silver. Sushil has 100 ml of oil and 5 liters of water. Find the ratio of oil to water. Express the following in the simplest form, 30:36, 75:45. Divide 1800 marbles between Vijay and Arvind in the ratio 5:4. Diksha bought 8 books for 448 rupees. What is the cost of 10 books of same kind? So children, with this we have come to the end of our session. I hope you have learnt all the concepts clearly and also you have learnt how to solve the problems based on these concepts. So we'll meet in our next digital class. Until then, goodbye and take care.